Okay, hiking up Little Joe today. Not planning to hit the peak. There'll be too much snow. We didn't leave early enough for that because we knew there would be too much snow and we're not going to snowshoe today. But coming over to our first overlook here. We've been up here a lot of times before in the past. I have some other videos I'll be putting out, some of those trips. But we are at the 21st of May. That's a view of the Bass Creek Crags there. And got some snow still. Our snowpack is not as good as it should be. We're like at 50-some% of our snowpack. But just coming out on the mountain, getting a little training hike today for some of the up to prepare for the bigger trips later. And this trail, to go to the trailhead drive up, there's a gate that doesn't open until May 15th. So today's the 21st, and so a few days later, 6 days later, since they opened the gate. So the trail hasn't been cleared yet. That's overlooking the valley there. We got a little bit of weather. It was socked in really, really heavy fog this morning at the house. Really heavy wet fog. And coming up now, we're having a little bit of grapple. So we also hit a bit of deadfall already on the trail. Less than 10 minutes in, we were already hitting deadfalls. So, whoops, sorry about that. So we'll see how it goes for that. But we will head on back on the trail and I'll show you some more along the way. So deadfall and grapple so far today. Officially hitting our first patch of snow on the trail, following Jamie's tracks. She was the first one across. So it's not solid on the trail yet, but we have been seeing patches on the sides here and there. So at some point we'll hit more and more patches and eventually solid snow. Kind of wondering how far that might be before we do. So here comes some more snow. So this will kind of start being the regular thing probably. It's kind of the intermittent. Jamie says, following rabbit footprints or hare. Something. So we just kind of call all the bunny kind of things rabbits by default. The green always really stands out in the spring with the snow. The white snow makes the greenery really pop. Okay, we're in the moderate part, which many people would consider very steep. But for the hike to the top, there is actually a steeper part than this. So we're starting to get a bit more snow and grapple, some kind of mix of precipitation. In between here, we get little bits of the grade that's not quite as bad. Gives you little breaks, but you do get quite a bit of continuous up, making it a little more difficult to walk and talk. So it's, like I said, a bit early to hit the top. We're already walking on quite a bit of snow that I didn't video yet. But it is getting more consolidated now. So walking on top of it rather than post holing, because a couple spots Jamie thought it was about a couple feet deep maybe. Some spots foot, some spots a couple. We were just walking on top, so gotta take a breather while I talk. Just as a warning when you're going uphill, if you try talking while you're going, it will make you more tired out. So when you are trying to tackle going up, refrain from talking. It will be a little easier. That's one of my tips for the day on uphill hiking. We're mostly snow now, so we're just deciding how far we're gonna go. We've got more time, so we'll keep going until we decide to turn around. Sometimes we're in the mountains on the snow like this, and there's no trucks to follow. You start to question sometimes if you're on the trail still, which sometimes we have gotten off the trail and backtracked to find it because you kind of miss it. We kind of know the area, so that helps. But even with that, sometimes through the trees, you can lose it. When you see some deadfall that's cut, if you watch for that, you can identify where the trail's at because they cut out the piece for the trail. So sometimes you'll see that, but like here, there isn't any of that to go by. So that's one of the things that's a little trickier if you're doing the spring, early spring hiking before anybody else has been going. There's no tracks and no dip in the trail where people have been. So you're really on your own for route finding.
Just following some hare tracks here.
How deep do you think some of this is?
Maybe up to 3 to 4 feet.
That's what I was kind
It's
of
at least
thinking.
3 feet in some spots.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
And you can kind of
It's
see.
kind of fun walking on the top. And some of the areas are pretty piled up. Some of it's pretty piled up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun walking on it, but you do have to watch for sliding, especially me. As I'm sliding down, my feet are making snowballs. Somebody else sliding. Gotta love the views, even if it's blustery. This is squirrels' major supper hangout, I think. Found a log with some piles on it, and Jamie said that was a supper log. I mean, breakfast log. This is the supper tree. That's a pretty good pile. Okay, you can see the weather moving in on us. It's still pretty early in the day, but had we got to the overlook we were kind of thinking of trying to get to, it would have been too stocked in by the time we got there to see the views anyway. So, and it would have been too blustery to hang out and enjoy it. So, not a big deal. But we've been back to the bare ground for a while, and we are on our way back out through the bare ground area. Oh! Okay, Jamie had went down and saw to her she's all right. So now back to the video of seeing the weather moving in. It's getting blustery. Whew. It is moving in, losing sight of the valley. Ooh, it's getting cold and nasty, so we are headed back.